Hi all, welcome and welcome back to my channel. I have a terrifying story to share with you out of Washington County, Utah, where a California mom traveled with her teen daughter and her friend to stay in a vacation rental home. But when 47-year-old Andrea Mottram made her travel plans, she probably wasn't aware of the fact that her 16-year-old daughter Bella had been writing about her in her diary. All about how much she hated her and how much she wanted to end her life. Information that would be provided to police by Bella's father after Andrea was found stabbed over a dozen times. According to police, Andrea rented a car in Las Vegas on March 20th of 2025, then drove to Utah with Bella and Bella's 17-year-old friend, Abigail Flanagan. From what I've read, Bella had been living in a treatment center in Washington County for the past 3 years. But treatment for what is not clear. Bella's friend had also been in a treatment center, but had been recently removed. Now, just to be clear, I've read 2 versions of this story. One where Andrea traveled with both teens from Vegas to Utah, and one where she traveled with just Abigail to visit her daughter Bella in the treatment center. So it's not clear which story is actually the case. But either way, the outcome was the same. 3 days later, a cleaning crew showed up to clean Andrea's rental, and they found her deceased inside, covered in stab wounds. But her daughter and her friend were nowhere to be found, and Andrea's rental car was also gone. When police arrived at the rental home, they said they found no sign of forced entry. Coupled with the disappearance of the 2 teens, along with Andrea's rental car, they named Bella and Abigail, who went by the name Jay, persons of interest in the case. At the rental home, police also found 2 cell phones and a wallet in the toilet, and multiple knives, one that appeared to have been rinsed in the sink, but still had traces of blood on it. They also found a pair of pants crumpled on the bathroom floor, with a bloody imprint of a knife on them, believed to belong to Bella. On March 26th, police found the teens in Bellflower, California, arrested them, and charged them both with murder, obstruction of justice, and theft of a motor vehicle.
Police are investigating a homicide after cleaners found a woman stabbed to death inside a vacation rental. Police believe she was only in town for a few days before the attack. Our Southern Utah correspondent Cannon Seacrest has more.
Washington City police say a 47-year-old woman from California was discovered inside a vacation rental on Sunday morning. And according to investigators, she had been stabbed multiple times in the upper body. Police have identified 2 persons of interest who were known to the victim, but they say there's no immediate threat to the public. Authorities believe the suspects fled the scene in the victim's rental car, which has since been found in another state.
That's really sobering and terrible. I was really sorry about that. Kind of absorbing it, but it makes me scared. I feel worried. I feel worried about walking around. I want to know more about it and just make sure all of my kids are safe and that I feel safe.
And after speaking with multiple neighbors, some still feel unsafe.
I mean, my first thought immediately was like, are my kids going to be okay? Immediately. So the first thing was just worried about my kids.
You know, last night we were just walking around and going in the backyard. Kids are running around. I've heard a lot of kids running around, and it makes you rethink everything and just want to make a lot of precautions, and it kind of, just changes a little bit the feel of the vacation.
The case is also raising concerns among visitors who frequently use short-term rentals and has some travelers reevaluating where they might book to stay.
I think I've been ignorant, I guess, of it. Ignorance is bliss. So maybe I would do a little more checking and just not so freely move back and forth into homes and areas that I don't know a lot about. So it probably will change a little bit, in at least me being a little more careful about my facts. And
investigators from the State Bureau of Investigations and the Utah State Crime Lab have been processing evidence at the scene, and the victim's body has been taken to a medical examiner for an autopsy.
We have an update on the stabbing death of a 47-year-old Andrea Mottram in Washington City. 2 teen girls, including the victim's 16-year-old daughter, have been charged with first-degree murder. 16-year-old Mihaela Sorescu and 17-year-old Abigail Flanagan were formally charged as adults today in 5th District Court. Police say they found evidence in the rental home where Mottram's body was found last month. Court documents indicate Sorescu's father told investigators he found Mihaela's diary in November, where she had written about hating her mother and wanting to kill her. He told police she has a history of violent behavior. The teens are being held in juvenile detention in Washington County. Tonight, we are also learning about Andrea Mottram's life. Reporter Chris Reed continues our coverage from the Fox 13 News Southern Utah Bureau.
A little over a week ago, a woman was found by a cleaning crew in that vacation rental behind me, stabbed 12 times in her torso. It turned out the scope of what had happened here went far beyond this community and even beyond California, where the woman was from. It was felt on the other side of the world.
I'm Andrea Mottram from California.
Andrea Mottram was going to turn 48 on March 29th. 6 days before, her body was found by a crew cleaning the vacation rental she and 2 others had been staying in at the Sienna Hills community. Her daughter, 16-year-old Mihaela Sorescu, and 17-year-old Abigail Flanagan were charged with her murder Friday. It turns out Mottram has left a lasting legacy. She was a social worker and co-founder of Disability and Refugee Aid Associations in the U.S. and Romania. That includes the Chicago-based American-Romanian Coalition for Human Rights and Equal Rights, known as Archer. It also includes a leading advocacy and aid group for autistic individuals in Romania. She did that out of the love of her 2 sons, both in the spectrum. She spoke about in this video, courtesy of the Archer organization.
My son was nonverbal and he's still nonverbal. In the meantime, he learned how to say, I love you. I don't know how much you know about the Romanian culture, but it's very hard for us to say, I love you. And I love you comes very hard in Romanian families.
She later adopted a 3rd child, a girl named Bella. Bella was a name Mihaela Sorescu was also known by. She is now accused of killing her mother. Washington County Attorney Eric Clark told Fox 13 that Sorescu and Flanagan are being charged as adults for murder. They're also being charged with car theft after taking the vehicle Mottram had rented back to California. From Washington City, Chris Reed, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Murder charges now filed against 2 teenage girls in the death of a woman who was found stabbed multiple times at a vacation rental. News specialist Shara Park has been digging into the court documents here. Shara, some really shocking details in this case.
Yeah, we've got first-degree felony murder charges against these 2 teens who are being charged as adults in this case. And the 16-year-old suspect is the victim's own daughter. Let me remind you of this case. This was on March 23rd when cleaning staff went into a Vrbo in Washington City on Bello Alley and found 47-year-old Andrea Mottram fatally stabbed 14 times. Police later determined 2 teens had been staying at the house. The victim's 16-year-old daughter, Mihaela Sorescu, and 17-year-old Abigail Flanagan. Both teens had fled the scene but were picked up in California days later and brought back to Utah. Now, according to the probable cause statement, 4 charges that were unsealed just this afternoon. When officers initially did a sweep of the house, they located 2 cell phones and a purse submerged in the toilet, revealing the identities of the teens. They also found bloody clothing and a knife in the sink that had been washed off. However, there were trace amounts of blood on that knife. Now, according to these court documents, Sorescu spent the past 3 years in a treatment facility in Washington County and was currently enrolled there. In these documents, there is reference to her diary where she wrote that she wanted to kill her mother. Both Sorescu and Flanagan are also charged with obstruction of justice and vehicle theft. We expect that we will get some information on their next court appearance soon. As soon as we have that, Deanie, we will let you know. We'll send it back to you.
Yeah, terrible details, Shara. Thank you.
Yeah.
Both teens appeared separately by remote feeds in Judge Eric Gentry's courtroom, and we found out that both are being held in separate juvenile detention facilities more than 250 miles apart. The two are accused of stabbing 47-year-old Andrea Mottram. 16-year-old Michaela Sorescu is Mottram's adopted daughter. She's at the Washington County Youth Center in Hurricane. 17-year-old Abigail Flanagan is at the Castle County Youth Center in Price. Flanagan appeared first, with Judge Gentry speaking to her.
You have been charged with some serious criminal offenses, including a first-degree felony and 2 second-degree felonies. Did you receive a copy of the charging document that contains the charges?
No, Your Honor.
Sorescu appeared next, sounding more soft-spoken.
Do you have any other questions for me?
No.
As juveniles, both were appointed defense attorneys. Ryan Stout, representing Flanagan, asked the judge if she could be moved closer to Washington County. Gentry said he could not order it, but would look into it. The next hearing for both will be in 2 weeks, on April 23rd. They're also expected to appear remotely for that hearing. From the 5th District Courthouse in St. George, Chris Reed, Fox 13 News, Utah.
On March 22nd at 3:18 p.m., the day police say Andrea's life was brutally taken from her. She posted this photo on her Facebook page with the caption, "This is almost 48." And just days before, she posted this post with the caption, "The trouble is, you think you have time." Andrea Mottram's life was stolen from her by her own daughter and her daughter's friend just days before her 48th birthday. May she rest in peace. Thank you so very much for listening to Andrea's story. I hope you know how much I appreciate the time you spend with me here on my channel. And you can check out more of the true crime stories I've covered by clicking on the videos that pop up on your screen at the end of this one. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you on my next video.